second.
Okay. Oh, yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a little bit about our business presentation. My name is Allie Pfaffenroth, and I have Lexi Watkins-Lovejoy with me. And our business is a nonprofit, and it is called Gardens Galore, the market. Here's our table of contents about what we will be talking about today. This is the executive summary, the business description, products and services descriptions, as well as the market analysis, location analysis, and financial plan.
All right. For the executive summary, in rural South Carolina, it is a struggle to find access to grocery stores, especially one with fresh produce. Having the lack of access and food insecurity can also cause a poor diet, increasing obesity and other health problems. So, with Gardens Galore, we will have a unique address, phone number, website, and email address. The goal with Gardens Galore is to provide access and promote food security to fresh local produce in our community who need a kickstart and a new healthy lifestyle. Promoting this to our community will hopefully help continue to further grow our company and promote healthy options in many places who may struggle with food insecurity. Our main group that we want to target in the community as a whole is to help learn more about the people in our area and who we serve. Getting to know the community better will also get the feedback and support that we need, as well as the location, which is right off the interstate and would be perfect for this wide radius of the facility. Since this area is so rural, it will hopefully gain the attention that it needs. The products we plan to sell are based off the produce that is best during this season. So what we'll be focusing on is our spring seasons, which we plan to sell herbs, strawberries, carrots, apples, cherries, radish, and onions. At Gardens Galore, we will have a few events that we will also have to stay in business. The events will also help for outreach in the community and what's surrounding around it. These events will take classes that are held each day during the week and the farm to table dinners once a month. The company aims to make a nonprofit organization with funding from a variety of sources, including the grant funding, to get the best opportunities for both the company and the community in South Carolina. With this business, this will provide a lot of advantages, but also have some of the disadvantages that we will go over. And this will progress and continue to learn as we grow and we move on with this company.
Thank you, Lexi. So now our mission statement, goals, objectives, and a brief description. So our mission statement is to provide local produce and nutrition information that brings together families, neighbors, and visitors to create a sense of community and social gathering. Our goals and objectives first would be to provide the opportunities to purchase more local produce and products. Then also just to provide that produce to these people in the rural area that don't have a huge access. The other goals and objectives would be to provide nutrition education and demonstrate basic cooking to help this community with easy nutritional recipes. We would also involve nutrition education to the community on the nutritional, environmental, and economic value of buying local, sustainably produced farm products. A brief description about our business is that we would create a produce stand that's open and welcome to everyone. It might be a stand, it might be just part of our business. We want it to look more like a little market. But then we would also have an education side to our building. So that would aim to provide education by doing cooking demos and providing healthy lifestyle tips to those in the community. We also hope to raise awareness of the business and engage attraction, not only in South Carolina, but for everyone outside the states that decide to come and visit once we get up and going. And this will be a nonprofit organization with funding from a variety of sources, which we will get into later in our presentation. But these include grant funding. That way we just are able to give the best opportunities to both our company, the employees, and the community surrounding.
So the next part that we're going to talk about is the products and services descriptions. The first part is the product and our merchandise. As I said, we will provide seasonal information about the produce. We will provide nutritional advice, information about the produce, and other health related nutrition topics. The produce will be from the local farmers. And some advantages that we have is that there's very few shops in the area and they are spread out way too far. So, this could be a major benefit for us in Gardens Galore. Some recipes to make in the kitchen and promoted recipes is one recipe per week, only looking to do the weeks of the spring season for our first opening, and continue to build our recipe base for the rest of the season as it progresses with opening and see how our client base is. So some of the ideas of our cooking demos, just to get a general idea, is we want to make some smoothies or salads just to help gain that confidence in the kitchen. A competitive advantage is that, like I said, there's very few shops in the area. They are all way too spread out, and we're about 20 minutes to the nearest town, and the only option that we really have is fast food. So this is a great, healthier alternative, and anybody who wants to cook to start that healthier lifestyle. The uniqueness of our product. As we said, there's nothing like it in this area. There's only fast food. It's very limited to the groceries that they even have in this town. And the only thing around is the pizza, the barbecues, gas stations, a potato boat restaurant, and Dollar General.
So, a little bit about our market analysis, the target market, and our promotion strategy. Our target market is the community that surrounds in the Fairplay area and those who live surrounding in these rural areas. We want to target those with chronic diseases. That way, we can provide nutrition education, as well as anyone who wants to just learn the basics of nutrition and cooking lessons to be healthier. Our promotion strategy would be content marketing, social media marketing, email marketing, also referrals from other local markets and stores, and then some event sponsoring. The different social media that we would use would be that like TikTok as well as Facebook. We would have a page, and then even an Instagram as well would be helpful.
The next part is the location analysis as well as the advantages and disadvantages. So to start off with the location analysis, the location of the business being in Fairplay will offer many benefits. There will be advantages and disadvantages of this location. The demographics in Fairplay region includes the median household income is around $100,000. The population is predominantly white, non-Hispanic Americans. The average commute for the living in the area to work is over 30 minutes. The only language reported being spoken in the area is English, and the median age for the population is around 64 years old. As well as out of the population at Fairplay, 29.6 of the people are below the poverty line. I feel like this is great for us to know with the community that we're serving because they struggle to get the transportation, they struggle to have the access. So, for our advantages, we want to talk about that there's very little competition in the area. The Dollar General Market is the only other store within the 15 minutes that offer produce options. The population of knowledge seeking individuals, community interest, healthier alternatives as feel good products, but also make good products. The knowledge base, such as teaching cooking skills that are not known and providing nutrition education to the disease states that need it. The community outreach base for those who want to get involved and be a part of this community group or classes. A wide variety of possible clients and customers, and funding is from a variety of sources. Along with our advantages, we do have our disadvantages, and there is a limited market base. We will rely heavily on marketing, advertising, social media, and the word of mouth since this is a small business we're opening. We will have seasonal produce, rely heavily on the farmers in the area and close by for the products. We rely heavily on the weather and crops to cooperate for the farmers to be able to provide the yield that we need to sell. And funding from a variety of sources, we also said is a disadvantage.
So, a little bit about our financial plan, the startup cost, pricing, and our full budget. So, included in the startup costs, we have the articles of incorporation, some registration fees for the agent, as far as being a nonprofit in South Carolina, as well as the EIN number fee, which was $0, but that could increase in the future. Then, as well as the charitable regulation fee, we would want to sign up for these things just because we are planning on getting a great amount of money from funding. So, because we're in that bracket, the fees will change. We would also want to apply to be tax exempt, so we would pay the fee for that as well. We plan to use a website that is free for the start. We may end up deciding to move to a different platform and building our website more. But as far as the first start, we would go with a free website. We factored in electricity, water. We also decided to factor in the buying the produce. We have decided to put a 25% markup factor on our produce after we buy it for what we will sell it for. We also have taken into account the relationship with the local farmers and have put in $5,000 to budget doing contracts and agreements, as well as fees and taxes with them. We also have factored in the building and land cost per month, as well as the cost of other startup things that we would need one time, such as chairs and tables, a physical TV or projector, the whiteboard for classes as well, kitchen equipment, video, camera, as well as some baskets to put the produce in at the market and tables, a sign for our business, and then some other just office things like recipe cards, paper, a printer, ink, a cash register, and some other things for making posters as well. As far as the produce cost goes, we would have to budget off of what we would get from the farmers. So we looked into what the different produce costs at the moment and what people are getting it for from the farmers at a bulk price. So we took the purchasing price that we would do per either bundle or pound, and then we converted into how much we would also be for our selling price. Again, we chose the markup factor to be around 25% at the start. We do aim to lower this markup factor in the future. However, for the start, that is what would be best for us at the moment. Again, Lexi mentioned that we'll have a variety of herbs such as parsley, cilantro, thyme, basil, oregano, and we would sell these in bunches. And then for our produce, we would have strawberries, carrots, onions, radishes, apples, and cherries for our spring season. We would sell these in either bunches, quarts, or pounds. And again, we've listed all of the charges that we would put for those on the slide here. Our sources of income, we mentioned that this would be an advantage as well as a disadvantage just because we have so many sources and we'll need to make sure to work pretty hard to make sure that we're able to obtain the funding that we need for our corporation, our business. So we would look to get individual donors as well as corporate donors, some grant funding, from government as well as other grants. We also would host some special events in order to help us with funding. This would be like our farm to table dinners. We plan to have one per month. We would also plan on doing some classes. Um, we already mentioned doing some recipes, but we may do some classes on produce and just how to use it as well and what the good properties are, just some nutritional classes, as both of us are aspiring dietitians. And we would also get some earned income from our produce and the herbs that we are selling. Here is our full budget. We've included the revenue and cost of goods sold on this and the gross profit. So here we've just listed all of the sources of revenue that we have calculated, um, as well as the calculation of the cost of goods sold. Then here we have our expenses as well for the startup fees, other startup costs, and what the total expenses would be. So far right now we are at profit. We do have a little leeway. We did also include some savings in our expenses just so that we are able to have a little bit of leeway if something were to happen. Again, all of these numbers are tentative as we do have funding from various sources and we are relying a lot on what we are obtaining from those various sources. But we are super excited for this opportunity. There really is such a great need, and we could definitely fill such a great void in giving some education opportunities to this community, and it would definitely help with the determinants of health in the area. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope you like our presentation and our business.